and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Voice of Reason exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, live from the heart of legendary Leimert Park. This is a revolutionary radio show. You know why? Because we're dedicated to raising the quality of the discussion, right? We're dedicated to elevating the discussion, right? And tonight is no exception to the rule. I mean, when your authentic self makes your partner paranoid and insecure, right? Ah, man. How about the truth of who you are, right? Could mirror something into their spirit that makes them better, right? It mirrors something in their spirit that triggers something in them that says, I don't have to be this way. Now, you want them to trust your process, but can you trust theirs? I don't know. I have a lot of high level ideas. And I recognize that this is fantasy world. This is no different than Disney, right? People be like, oh, no, that's deep. Yeah, brother, that's heavy. Yeah. But when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, people don't want to do that, right? People don't want to do that. I was talking to Arabia before the show, and I was explaining to her that time does not heal wounds. Everybody think time heals wounds. Time does not heal a wound. It is the work you do in the time you take that heals wounds. Now, what is true is that the time it takes for me to heal a wound in me may be different than the amount of time you may need. But it isn't the time that's doing the healing. It is the work that is doing the healing. Because if you don't do the work to heal your own wounds, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get into a relationship bringing work that you should have completed on your own. And now the relationship's holographic and highly reflective nature will reflect all of the stuff you didn't do before you got there back to you in the guise or in the stream of conflict. That's how that's going to happen. That's how that's going to, and it happens to me all the time. I'm not here to to speak like I'm somehow, above the conflict. I'm in it all the time. Let me shout out our swag bag winner. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the swag bag winner, the KBLA swag bag winner. Congratulations to you, sister. Adrian Diggs. Adrian Diggs. Yes, yes, yes. We appreciate you for calling in. We appreciate you for getting through. And we appreciate you for rocking your KBLA swag bag. Okay, let's get these callers in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. She is the creator of this topic. Attila, why did you create the topic? Why did you need answers to this? Why did you send me 5 to 7 questions? Why? Attila, you here?
What up, Uncle Joe? Okay, so why did I create the topic? Well, I was snooping around on Dr. Ramani's channel, and she was talking about kind of the resistance you might acquire or run into when you are interacting with someone who is maybe more, higher on the narcissistic scale, right? And so she was talking about essentially how, you may be an upbeat person or just happy to be there, or whatever the case may be. And, this person is kind of disturbed by that. And for me, it just really brought up some childhood wounds, right? One way that this might look or might appear is if a person is like trying to purposely trigger you so that you basically like kind of come out of yourself, right? That might look like crying or whatever the case. Like in my case, my mom would be like, well, I know when you're telling the truth because you're crying. And I'm just like, how does that how does that even work? But when I think deeper on the topic, right, and understanding how that's kind of played out, not only in my romantic relationships, but my friendships, I constantly like attracted people that would try and trigger me like on purpose. And I just could not figure out, like, why would I want that to be attracted to me? Like, why would I want that? And Reggie in the chat brought up a really good point, like kind of the idea of, if you're attracting someone who is kind of repulsed or offended by your authenticity, does that mean that you have not accepted yourself? And I would say yes, like to some degree. I think we can accept ourselves in certain stages, but whatever stage you have not accepted yourself in, it'll be mirrored through your partner. And I think that looks like the form of resistance or triggering.
Ciao. We appreciate you, girl. Listen, you could create a topic for us any night. If you gonna do it like this, you could create any topic you would like to create. I appreciate you so much for your contributions. Thank you. You brought Houston, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. My brother Reggie, Texas is in the building heavy. Austin, Texas in the building. Reggie, what are your thoughts?
Man, Attila just asked my question, so hopefully I can get an answer from you. I don't doubt what you say. I just want to get a better understanding of it. You said a long while ago that we attract who we are, and I get that. That makes sense to me. But tonight you said that there were, I'm losing faith that people will see you and accept the real you. I don't see how both those actions can be the same. Like you know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. And what I'm talking about is people tend to accept pieces of the person, their significant other. They don't accept the whole significant other. The human part of listen very carefully.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, that ain't got nothing to do with your acceptance. You're going to attract what you are regardless. Let me give you an example. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. When you're in pursuit of pleasure, right, you're actually in pursuit of pain. That's not your intent, but pain and pleasure come together. People don't understand that. right? We are pursuing a thing, but we don't understand that the thing is connected to something else. Typically, it's polar opposite, especially as it pertains to relationships. If you haven't accepted yourself fully, the full you, the whole you, the human part of you is the one that is prone to error. If you haven't accepted that part of you and you get into a relationship, you're only going to accept the good that that significant other can potentially bring to you. What is the good? They have to be in alignment with what? Your expectations. What did Dr. Alan Berger say about expectations? He said they are the seeds for disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why?
Yeah.
And disappointment is pain. But you chose them because they felt good. You chose them because and you unconsciously chose them as well. Let's not forget, there's a conscious choosing. Hey, they're smart. Hey, they're attractive. Hey, they're doing okay in society. They got a job. They got a nice car. They got their own place. There's a conscious or a visible lighthouse choosing. And then there is an unconscious, invisible, dark lighthouse choosing. But the choosing is always whole, but your attention is not. Your attention is usually on what you want, not on what you need to work on. That's coming from the unconscious selection. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Let me ask you this. Okay, if you ask for a thing, should you be prepared to get the exact opposite of what you've asked for?
You should be. See, people say, I want a new house. Okay, God give you the new house. But what about upkeep? Eesh. When you own your property and you realize that everything that go wrong in that place is your responsibility. See, you was thinking about the barbecue. You was thinking about the white picket fence. We're going to have a barbecue on the 4th of July. Everybody going to come over. We're going to eat. You're not thinking about people breaking stuff. And it, like Richard Pryor said, everything in the house costs over $500 to fix. Everything. Mm-hmm. So you don't think about, I like to call it thinking in stereo. Most people think in mono. What I want, what I need in order to be happy. That most people think monolithically. They don't think in a stereo kind of perspective where if I ask for the house, can I afford the insurance every year? Can I afford the tax on the property every year? Do you understand? They just think about, and I put the big screen TV right here. We're going to be able to watch all the games, you see. And then I'm going to have my uncle and them come over. My uncle's a pit master. He going to come over and barbecue. We think about the superficial. But when we start thinking about the substantial things, I'm asking to be loved. Well, if you're asking to be loved by someone, then are you not in the inverse asking yourself to love you as you are? Mm-hmm. Oh, stick with me, Reggie. When we come forward, I'm going back to Austin, Texas.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Financial stress is having an impact on Georgia residents. An analysis conducted by USA Today Blueprint shows 51% of Georgians are feeling the effects, which ranks 7th nationwide. Among those experiencing financial burdens, the most are the 40 to 54-year-old population, and the committees feeling it the worst are among Black and Hispanic residents. More Americans are believing the pandemic to be over, but fewer than half say their lives are back to business as usual. A new Gallup poll shows 64% of respondents say the COVID pandemic is over. In February of this year, only 49% said the same. Just over 40% said they don't think their lives will ever go back to what was normal pre-pandemic. Along party lines, 84% of Republicans said the pandemic is over, compared to 65% of independents and just over half of Democrats. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Looking for a late night spot to get the crew together? 3 words, Buffalo Wild Wings. They've got drinks and apps starting at $4 from 10 p.m. till close. B-Dubs, where late night food and drinks start at $4. Cheers to that. Limited time at participating locations. Offers, days, and times may vary. Drink responsibly. Void or prohibited. Tax and fees extra.
We boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
The pandemic may be over, but many Angelinos could be at risk of losing the place they call home. It's important to know your rights as a residential renter in the city of LA. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
This is Tyrone celebrating the 75th anniversary of Black Radio and June as Black Music Month. Brought to you by Procter & Gamble.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Oh, yeah. One of the most enduring musical groups ever, the Isley Brothers. Their hits began in 1959, and they've had new hits on the Billboard charts for 5 consecutive decades.
I try to play my music. They say my music's too loud. I try talking about it. I got the big run around. And when I roll with the punches, I got knocked on the ground by all this whiskey. Don't say goodnight.
Procter & Gamble proudly celebrates the 75th anniversary of Black Radio and June as Black Music Month. Let's widen all views to the resilience, joy, beauty, and vastness of the Black experience. Learn more at pg.com/widen the screen.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
The Shadow Sister Tour is coming to Malik Books, Westfield, Culver City Mall, Friday, June 30th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Author Lily Mead will be signing and discussing her new book, The Shadow Sister. This book is perfect for fans of emotional suspense, sisters with stories with complex family dynamics, and speculative fiction, including hoodoo. Lily Mead's captivating book is a must-read, truly a page-turner. From the first line to the final page, the moderator is New York Times best-selling author of the book, The Black Kids. Come out to Malik Books, Westfield, Culver City Mall for the Shadow Sister Tour, Friday, June 30th at 7 p.m. There will be diverse books featuring strong female leads. Malik Books is a community bookstore that amplifies the voices of our community and gives voice to the voiceless. For more information, go to malikbooks.com. Again, that's malikbooks.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically Black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the Dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Understanding the diagnostic process for a personality disorder is difficult, but Dr. Ramani makes it simple. In this episode, she explains how the path to a diagnosis should and should not look, and walks through the 7 criteria used to diagnose avoidant personality disorder. All right, Dr. Ramani, what goes into diagnosing somebody with avoidant personality disorder?
You know, Kyle, as with all personality disorders, it's not just sort of like a quick and easy kind of a process. Many times when we come to the diagnosis of a personality disorder, it can require multiple interactions with a client to hear about how they're doing in various areas of their life, with their friendships, in their family, with a partner, at work or at school, because personality disorders tend to be pervasive. So if this is just somebody who doesn't want to do a sales talk, but they're doing well in those other areas, it takes time to get all that information. So at the core of it, in order to figure this out, we need a series of clinical interviews, or at least to start treatment with someone. If a person with avoidant personality disorder came into treatment, they may very, very well come into treatment because they feel lonely and they feel frustrated and not being able to connect to other people. That might be what brings them in. So when they're brought in with that kind of a presenting issue, we're going to think about a lot of things. Is this person socially anxious? Is this person depressed? What's going on here? And then we'll dig deeper, and once we see the pervasiveness of it, it might take us even a few weeks, maybe even a few months to land on this summit squarely. We'll also look at, for example, how do they perceive how other people view them? Is this more about being anxious, or is this really about feeling inadequate and that people will reject them? People who are socially anxious are just more reacting to the physiological reactions they're having at that time. And yeah, they do worry about, screwing up, if you will. But for the person who is experiencing avoidant personality disorder, it really is. It's the fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, the hypersensitivity. The themes are a little bit different. So it's a really nuanced kind of a path. And I have to tell you, I've worked with clients for maybe the first 6 weeks. I thought, he's socially anxious. And about week 8 or 9, I'm like, no, this might actually be more pervasive than that. And it'll show me how much more severe and consistent it is. And then I might do a little bit more work once I realize it's avoidant personality on sort of unscrambling those fears and focusing on it more as a pervasive pattern than as an anxiety disorder.
I would imagine that most people come in for depression.
Depression is probably one of the primary leading causes of why people ever get into mental health treatment. But I have to tell you, there's also a lot of stuff of life that get people in. Relationship problems, dating problems, but a lot of it's relationship problems. And that's a lot of what brings people over the threshold of my office. Problems in a marriage, problems with a parent, problems with an adult child, something like that. And that we can break it down from there. So sometimes people will even come in with an entirely different kind of an issue, and then we'll end up coming in a back door on this one. So it really takes a lot of interviewing, time. Sometimes people do psychological testing or assessment, and they'll give them a series of tests, and those tests will give insight into these patterns, and that's almost like a faster way to that end goal. But no matter what, you still need to spend time with the client.
Man, if Dr. Ramani hasn't been cooking with the rarest avocado oil all night, I don't know what to say. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm your host, Zoe Williams. We're on Complete Flyer. I have my brother Reggie from Austin, Texas in the building. Reggie, get in here.
Man, 2 things. I would pay to hear the conversations you have during your break. Those are the conversations that I will pay for, real talk.
Ooh, we be in here wilding during the break. Man, you don't want to hear that.
Absolutely, yeah, y'all do, man. Second thing is, if you ask for one thing and you get the exact opposite of what you've asked for, or it appears like you've gotten the exact opposite of what you asked for, how do you not let the feeling that you get by getting the opposite allow you not to just destroy the whole thing? How do you know how to stay in there versus when to go?
You know what's interesting? I gave my girl a poem by Khalil Gibran. And I gave her the poem because I wanted her to see the duality of love. It's a very powerful poem, right? And it talks about the beauty of love, but it also talks about the pain in love. Most people, when you talk about getting the opposite of what you want, most people go into that damn relationship asking for partials, man. Asking for partials. In other words, I just want space, or I just want time, or I just want to be able to deal, or I just want some love, or I just want some attention, or I just want to be understood. They're asking for partials. They don't understand that it's bidirectional. If I'm pouring understanding and love and peace and patience into you, you are not to take it and run off in the corner and nibble on it like a little hamster. You're supposed to share a piece. If it energizes you, you give it back. Organic, natural reciprocity. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See,
I do.
many people are looking for a partial thing to fit into a particular crack that they have in their armor, right? They haven't accepted themselves completely. They're not accepting you completely. They're accepting what you can do in the interim. If you could just do this, if you would have just did this. Yes, I do that, and then what? How does this create an organic cycle between the two of us? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm getting it. I want you to address that question, though. I mean, if you think the cycle is there, my bad. If you think the cycle is there, but the feeling is like, man, that cycle is not there totally. It's there sometimes, but it's not there all the time.
Then you check into self. If you feel that it's not there, why isn't it there for you? And what is that connected to? Right? Why isn't it there for you? Right? You go through the process of why isn't it there for you? And if you say, hey, all my boxes check. All the boxes that I'm conscious of, it checks. So then what do? You go back to your partner and you start asking questions. But sometimes if you ask questions, those questions are now viewed as a threat to your partner. Because they might be doing the very well or the very best that they could do. So you start asking, now it's an attack. But that conflict is a manifestation of some kind of misalignment. And wherever there is a lack of wholeness, you will see that the relationship is misaligned. And typically that lack of wholeness is an internal thing that's going on. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Appreciate you, man.
Brother. Always, man. Always. Then said Al-Mithra, speak to us of love. And he raised his head and he looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, when love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste to the garden. Do you understand? You don't know love. Love hurts your ass. I'm sorry. Oh, let's start over. Let me start over with a new person. Let me get my life together and start over with somebody else. You're going to pick right back up where you left off. You want to be understood, but you're not understanding. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking you.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
In our community, mental health struggles can sometimes go unnoticed. The suicide rate among Black youth has risen faster than any other ethnic group. Only 1 in 3 African Americans who need mental health care receives it. African American women are only half as likely as their Caucasian counterparts to seek professional mental health services. Even those who guide us spiritually can sometimes face their own challenges. 45% of pastors say they've experienced depression or burnout to the extent they need to take a leave of absence from ministry. As people of faith, it's time to acknowledge it's okay not to be okay. You can pray and get help. Visit normalizehelp.org for more information and resources. Join us in raising mental health awareness in our community. Funded by the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health and the Champion Counseling Center of Faithful Central Bible Church.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
let that beat just wash over you. Just let it flow into your spirit a little bit. The voice of reason doesn't want to upset you. I just want you to think about some of the things that maybe you don't think about very often. This track is called First Responders. The album is called Dinner Party. And the artist, Terrence Martin, Robert Glasper. It's a great track. Yes. It's a vibe, y'all. It's a vibe. But let me tell you something about a partner's ability or inability to be authentic with themselves. It can have a significant impact on your relationship. Right? Here's one. Trust and intimacy. Now, I was having a conversation with Big Pee Wee yesterday at the Cigar Lounge. And I was telling him that trust is rooted, for most people, trust is rooted in fear. So is loyalty. This is why a lot of times monogamy takes on this ownership kind of energy. Right? I trust that you won't hurt me. Don't hurt me. There's always this resistance and don't hurt me. But sometimes hurt is the conduit to enlightenment. Pain is where the light enters. The wound is where the light enters. That's right, Attila. Rejection as protection. So when you are unable to be your authentic self, you will cultivate many dynamics in your relationships, such as trust and intimacy issues. Authenticity is closely linked to trust in a relationship. When a partner is authentic with themselves, they are more likely to be open, honest, and transparent with their thoughts, feelings, and desires. Please be careful when hearing that. That doesn't mean I'm going to tell you every single detail. That doesn't mean anybody's going to tell you every single detail. But if they own up to a situation that became problematic for your relationship and they share as much as they can, oftentimes you find that people aren't happy until they get every nook and cranny of what went down. But like I said, that would be good if you are working to use that information to heal the relationship. If you're just using that information to build up your confidence to leave the relationship, then that's not fair either. And many people do that. I just wanted to get a confirmation. We get that oftentimes, right? Then there's communication. Authenticity plays a crucial role in effective communication. When partners are authentic with themselves, they are more likely to express their true thoughts and emotions, which promotes open and honest conversation. This allows for a better understanding, conflict management, and problem solving, right? A lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to solve problems. They want to have a grudge to hold so they can feel entitled. So they can dangle it over your head and say, remember you did this and I'm still not done with this and I'm still feeling this and this is still that. And it's like, okay. But at some point that feeling has to leave your spirit if we are to be together. If we are to be together, that spirit got that feeling, those feelings got to leave at some point, right? Now, which would you rather have? The way you feel or the person that makes you feel great, except for their humanity? Ooh. Then, of course, emotional support. Authenticity enables partners to provide genuine emotional support to each other. When a partner is authentic with themselves, they are more likely to express their needs, vulnerabilities, and insecurities. This allows the other partner to understand and provide the necessary support. But you have to understand the way this is written. Provide the necessary support. Your partner, even the sun will run out of gas and die one day. People say, provide the necessary support. But it isn't indefinite. Oftentimes we get in a comfort zone where we think our partner has to continuously give and give and give and give and give, and you don't give nothing back. But hold on, I still need time. No, you done got used to the support. Sometimes you got to give back even when you're still in need of the support so you can create support reciprocity. Oh, I know people ain't ready for support reciprocity. Are y'all ready for support reciprocity? So emotional support is a bidirectional thing. And yes, one partner may be going through something else, but it's just like being a caretaker. Do you know caretakers need support too? They can't just caretake forever. They can't just keep going. Somebody's got to come get him a break. So if you don't have a contingency plan to support the supporter, you want to keep your relationship, you want to have an authentic experience with somebody, learn how to support the supporter. Ooh, I know that's heavy. I know people ain't. Burnout is real, right? All right. Then there's relationship satisfaction. Authenticity contributes to overall satisfaction in relationships. When partners are authentic with themselves, they can be true to their values, beliefs, and desires, leading to a sense of fulfillment and contentment. Conversely, if a partner is unable to be authentic, they may feel unfulfilled, disconnected, or even resentful with the relationship, which can negatively impact the overall satisfaction. Growth and development. You got to understand, all of this is about growth and development. Life is going to keep hitting you upside your head so you can grow up spiritually. There's not going to be a corner you can turn around that life ain't ready with a left hook ready to sock you in your temple. Life is about getting hit, getting knocked down, getting up better. Growth and development. Authenticity allows partners to grow individually and as a couple. When a partner is authentic with themselves, they can explore their own needs, aspirations, and personal growth, which can positively influence the relationship. Conversely, if a partner is unable to be authentic, they may suppress themselves, hindering personal growth and potentially stifling the growth of the relationship. In summary, a partner's ability to be authentic with themselves is crucial for building trust, fostering effective communication, providing emotional support, enhancing relationship satisfaction, and promoting personal growth within a relationship. All right? Listen, I started the conversation. It's your job to finish it. I'm not right about any of the stuff I said tonight. Challenge it all. Throw it out the window. But we got to have these conversations. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. The home girl, RSVP with Jill. I know her last name. I just like saying Jill. RSVP with Jill. She gonna keep the fire lit, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Thursday is my Friday. I'll see y'all then.